I've just deposited £50,000 in a trading account. And the plan is to try and document my trading story. This is unprepared, it's unscripted. It's going to be a little bit challenging because I won't be able to every time get the camera on, set the lights up and make sure everything looks alright around my desk over here. But I'll try my best. I'm going to trade with IG. I will post the details in the description below. And the thing that I'm going to focus on is spread betting. Now, spread betting is basically betting on the price movement. And one of the great things about spread betting is you don't have to pay, it's tax-free money. You don't have to pay any tax on it here in the UK. But before I go on, I just want to make very clear, I'm not a financial advisor. And if you do trading, make sure to do your homework because you could lose a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing. Even if you know what you're doing, you can lose a lot of money. Now, I'm going to be trading, I'm going to be spread betting on IG. I will not own the stocks. I will be trading per point. So I will decide how much money to trade per point. I'm going to show you in a minute. And every point the price goes up, I will make, let's say if it's £1 a point, I'll make £1 a point. And if the price goes down, I'll lose £1 a point. As I said before, I do want to try and make this into a monthly journal. I trade every working day of the week, except for when the markets are closed, obviously. I'll trade from 8 o'clock in the morning UK time up until 9 o'clock in the evening American, which is when the Americans market close at 4 o'clock PM, which is 9 o'clock UK time. And I will trade every day until Friday at sundown. Friday at sundown, that's it, I'm done. It doesn't matter what's going on in the markets or what's going on in the world. I go to my Friday night dinner and I have my whiskey with my gefilte fish.
Filter fish. You want some of my filter fish? You want any of this? What's the name of the fish?
Gefilte fish. Gefilte fish.
Gefilte fish. All right, okay.
Filter fish. I love this stuff.
I really don't.
I trade indices, I trade UK stocks, I trade American stocks, and I trade commodities. Those are the main things that I trade, and I'm going to show you how I set up my account on IG. Right, now let's head over to my computer, and as you can see, this is £50,000. I have cleared funds in my account. I'm not exactly sure how I can show you this is real money. Maybe I'll try and take screenshots of my deposits. I had to do 3 deposits, by the way. One of 25,000, one of 20,000, and one of 5,000. Reason being is because I can't do a deposit of more than £25,000 on my debit card. So the first thing I do before I start my day, before I start trading, is I'll have a look at the news, what's going on in the world. I'll check investing.com, I like CNBC, I like Bloomberg. I also check the calendar to see if there's anything going on that day, which would be over here, economic calendar. This will show me, it'll give me an indication of any big news that's happening, like interest rates rising or all different things. And I'll just have a quick look down here to see what's happening when. Another thing I'll always do at the beginning of the week is I'll check the earnings, especially when it comes to earnings season, to see if there's any earnings coming up for the stocks that I like. And I'll always keep an eye on them during the earning announcements. I'll always check CNBC, and like I said before, I'll check Bloomberg as well. Right, let's head over to my trading account. As I said, this is a brand new account. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to set up my account. And I'll probably put it on fast forward so that you don't get bored. But I'll just show you briefly. The indices that I trade are the FTSE, the CAC, the DAX, the Sweden, Denmark, EU stocks, US 500, which is the S&P. On IG is called US 500. The same thing with Wall Street, which is the Dow. US Tech, which is the Nasdaq, and the US FANG, which is Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, and all that. UK stocks I'm looking out for are ITV, Virgin Money, Capita, Lloyds, Tesco, Santander, and of course Rolls-Royce, and Gina Drive and NanoSynth. American stocks that I like, which I'm going to set up on my platform over here, is Disney, Bank of America, Micron, Johnson & Johnson, Amazon, Shopify, Snapchat, Pinterest, Microsoft, Etsy, PayPal, and Nvidia. And in commodities, the ones that I like to watch and trade occasionally are oil, the US crude, gold, and silver. And on that bombshell, I'm going to set up my platform over here. Right, popular markets, let's change the name of this. Rename workspace, we're going to call this Indices. And the way I do it is I have to go to, click on Indices. Right, US Tech, we like that. Add to workspace. Next. Wall Street, which is the Dow. We like that too. We'll add that to the workspace. I'm going to show you how I set up my... I don't like having loads of monitors in front of me. I try to keep it very simple. What you see here is me setting up the charts for all the indices I like to monitor and trade. You may see my mouth moving in the pop-out screen, but after watching it back, I'm not saying anything important. We got to grow this account, by the way. The aim is, it's a £50,000 account. I have big plans with it. I don't want to open my mouth now. I don't want to say what I want to do. Let's see where it goes. Let's see what happens. Join my journey. Here, I'm organizing the charts and setting up the UK stocks mentioned earlier. I just want to say again, I'm not a financial advisor. If you trade the financial markets, you must know a lot about them, and it takes years to learn. One of the most important things you have to know and understand is what actually moves the markets and why stocks go up and down. You have to learn the fundamentals. You have to understand the risks involved and know how to factor risk in your trades. Now, the way I trade is, I don't like doing day trading. I like swing trading or long-term trading. I like to open a position and hold it for weeks, months, and sometimes even longer than that. I use a mixture of fundamental analysis together with technical analysis. I'm not going to go into detail right now about fundamental analysis and technical analysis and all the other names of the charts and what they mean. But what I will say is that fundamentals can tell us when a stock is undervalued, what is going on in the world, what's going on with the company, earnings and all that kind of stuff. And I use technicals as an indicator of when to buy back into the market. I hope that clears things up a little bit, but let's continue with setting up. The next thing I'm going to do is American stocks. So I'm going to open up a new tab over here. We'll call this US stocks. And I'm going to start adding the stocks that I mentioned earlier. Right, now that all this is set up, I then set up my charts. Now, as I said earlier, I don't like to have loads of screens in front of me with big charts with things all over them, lines and drawings. I prefer to get, see what I mean? I can't do retakes. I prefer to keep things simple. However, on the indices, I do like to have 4 charts. And usually on stocks, I like to have 2 charts. So I'll just show you what I do on the indices. On the let's take the FTSE, for example. I like to see way back, so I will split the charts over here. There we go, split chart, and we like to have 4 of them. And what I do is, in this one, I'll have a daily. In this one, I'm going to change this to 4 hours. On this one, we like the hourly. And on this one, 5 minutes or 15 minutes. The 5 minutes or 15 minute chart is usually for short-term trades, and obviously the longer term charts are are for the longer term trades. Common sense, isn't it? However, with the stocks, let's just take the American stocks. We'll take Amazon. Everybody knows what Amazon is. Where is Amazon? Amazon, stocks like these, I like to have probably just 2 charts. If I want to see way back, I can always either just manually put in how far back I want to go, or I'll do like the indices and I'll put 4 charts on. Right, so this one we like the daily chart, so we can see where it's going relatively to where it was. And the hourly is also good for me, for the stocks. Again, I don't like to day trade. I don't like to buy stocks in the morning and sell them 5 minutes later. I like to, unless obviously something's happened and there's a big profit. There is one indicator that I do like to use on almost all of my charts, and that is the RSI. I'll just show you briefly how to set that up. Over here, you got a section called indicators, and you got all these kind of indicators. I like Bollinger Bands. I'll discuss that in another video. I like momentum is also a good one that I like. And the RSI, I usually have that on almost all my charts. It shows me when a stock is overbought or oversold. So on the hourly chart, on this one here, you can see that it's about to hit they're overly sold. However, I don't like the FTSE right now. Last week on Friday, it hit record highs. It's, you know, this is again, you see, I'll go back to my daily chart over here and I can see where it is in comparison to where it is the last hour. You see, on this chart on the last hour, I can't really see where it's been. From here, it looks like it's going up, right? You can't see too far back, but on the daily chart, you get more of a picture of where it's come from and where it's going to. It could continue going up. Who the hell knows? But for me, this is not the time to get in. If we're talking about recessions and everything else, I'm not buying into the FTSE. I don't like going short on stocks or trading. When I do, it's usually based on something really drastic that's happened in the world. But I'm going to go over to commodities and I'm actually going to open a trade. So enjoy. This is the oil, the US crude. This is the 4-hour chart. I do also, a lot of times, I do put in certain kind of lines to see, you know, support lines, resistance lines. And on the 4-hour chart, I'm going to put this right over here around the 7336, 7328 mark, right there. And as you can see, this appears to be on the 4-hourly chart a support, and you got a resistance somewhere over there around the 8265. If we change this to the daily chart, now oil, again, when you trade oil, it's all about fundamentals. What is going on in the world? Russia, America, the Middle East. A good price for oil is usually around $80 per barrel. I'm going to go back to the 4-hour chart. And I'm actually going to open a trade. Let's go to the 1-hour chart. There you go, there's my support line. I can move it. Let's put it, yeah, we'll keep it over there for now. Support is somewhere around over here. So what we do is we go to buy. Now, when you buy something, there's a margin. You see how much I can, the minimum is 6 pence, which is fantastic. This takes a margin of £44. Now, the margin is basically the amount of money you have to put up to buy the trade. So depending on how big of a position you buy, this margin here will change. And if you look up here, it will show you a total of margin from all your positions of how much you've used. And that will obviously take away from your availability that you have to trade. And this is the first trade on this account. It's the first trade of the month. So I'm gonna open a relatively small position of 25 pence. That means at every point it moves, I'll make or lose 25 pence. Ready? It's taking a margin of £184, and let's open it. And that's it, we're in. We're in the trade. It's currently a minus 88 pence. Amazing. Right, now, stop losses are extremely important in trading, especially with volatile stocks like oil. So for this, I'm going to put a stop loss of just below the support, which is somewhere over there. Which means, as you can see on the left here, if it hits this, I will lose £23. I'm going to put the take profit at around the resistance, which is at £226. Now, I might not stay in the trade until then. I'm going to follow it and see what happens. If it goes up, and once it goes into profit, I'm going to move this stop loss into a trailing stop, so that I can't lose any money on it. However, I think it is going to go back up based on, this is what I said before. When it comes to technical and fundamentals, I use technicals of when to come back into the trade. And I genuinely believe that this is a good place to come in. I feel comfortable, I feel confident. And let's see what happens. It's currently at £3.50 in profit. Brilliant. Right, I'm going to leave that for now. And the next thing I'm going to do is UK stocks. You see this nanosynth. It's an interesting stock. I'm not going to discuss it here. This is the daily chart. But you can see the spikes that happen. Although it's coming down, we're going to do some drawings here. Go on, let's do some drawings. Trend line, here we go. You can see where it's going, right? Do you understand this? See, according to this, it should go to 0. But anyway, the price is so low. Let's go to the weekly chart for a second. Yeah, look at that. It's currently at 0.22 pence. Right, I'm going to buy in the stock. This is a long-term thing. It's not going to happen. This is an hourly chart. The spread is actually quite wide on this stock. I know this because I've traded it in the past. I'm going to buy £1,000 a point. It's taking a margin of £54. Right, place deal. I told you it's got quite a big margin, this one, but it's a £1,000 position, so it's currently at minus 1960. You can see the profit and loss at the top here. We're currently minus 1438 in a loss. That'll be because of this stock here, because if we go back to the oil position, it's currently in a profit of £5.63. The margin I've used so far is just under £240, and I have available £49,746. My funds are still at £50,000. When I close a position, whether it's in a profit or a loss, the funds of £50,000 will be a reflection of what I just did. Anyway, I'm going to stop the recording now, and I will try and switch the camera back on soon. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I forgot to show you something earlier, which is very important, which is how IG works, or the sidebar menu here. If I click this, it'll open up. Right, so you got your indices here. If you want to search for any indices, your Forex, I stay away from that, that's gambling. Crypto, I stay away from that, that's a Ponzi scheme. Your shares, commodities, bonds and rates, ETFs, again, I'll discuss all this in separate videos. You can make a watch list. You have weekend markets, which I do not trade. But then over here, we have positions. And as you can see, I got 2 open positions. Your orders, that means if I place an order on a certain stock, which I'll discuss in another video. Your history, so what I've opened and closed in the what I've closed in the last 24 hours will show up over here. But my current positions, I can just click on here and I see them. You got the Nanosynth, which is currently minus £19 in loss, and Oil US Creed is, as you can see, is £2.80 in profit. I can also close them from here if I wanted to. Now, another stock that I really, let me get rid of this 1 second. Another stock that I really like is Capita. You see, Capita, look at the daily chart. Let's go back to the weekly chart. Look at this. It used to be, it had highs of $13.25. Today it's worth nothing. It's worth £28, just under £29. Go on the daily chart. You see, it's been around the same position, somewhere between 18, 19, and roughly 56 since February 2020. That's basically 2 years. It's been in the same position. So there's going to be a big movement at some point. This is what happens. Usually it can go either way, up or down. Lately it's just been coming down and down, but there's not really much further to go. So if I go to the 4-hour chart, you can see there's a kind of trend going on over here. Also on the hourly chart, you'll also see a trend. There you go. So I'm very tempted to buy this. I say you got to have a lot of patience when it comes to trading stocks. Yeah, go on. I'm going to open up a very small position, just a £5 position. £5 per point. It only takes a margin of £28. It will most likely go back down to 23, 22. And if it does, I'm going to buy in again. So let's place that. It takes a margin of £28. There we go, we're in. And I think that's it for now. I will be looking to buy Johnson & Johnson. It's currently, what's the time now? It's currently 11:48 a.m. English time, which means it's 6:48 in the morning American time. The market's open at 8 a.m. at 8:30, which is 2:30 UK time. This is out of hours market. I don't like to buy when it's out of hours. I have a good feeling that this stock is going to drop on the open. It's currently down just under 0.2%. Let's go to the hourly chart, 4-hour chart. Yeah, I like where it is. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on this at 2:30 when the market's open in America. And I'll probably open up a position. The other stocks that I like is PayPal. I'll be looking at Etsy. I'm not sure about Etsy. Okay, we'll have a look into Etsy. Pinterest is another stock I like. Snapchat, where's it holding? Yeah, we'll probably open up a position on Snapchat. It's currently at $10 a stock, down from 80 2 years ago. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Micron, no, we're gonna leave that. Amazon, I love Amazon. There we go, look at that. Yeah, I'll be looking to open Amazon as well. Anyway, we'll come back at 2:30 and we'll see how that goes. Right, so it's just gone 2:30 UK time, which is 8:30 American time. The American markets have just opened, and like I said earlier, I really like Johnson & Johnson where it currently is. It's the fundamentals are great with Johnson & Johnson. It's a great company. They're doing really well. This is the daily chart, and as I said earlier, you could see I used the technicals of when to get back in the market. Now it seems like I'm just going to put this over here. Seems like that is support. It keeps on coming down to this point over here, which is around 15,745, and it bounces off. It comes back down again, it bounces back off. It keeps on doing that, and it looks like it's doing that again. Having said that, this area here might be a short-term buying opportunity. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait a little bit and see what happens. At the moment, it's might be able to get in at a better point. It's all about patience in this game. But for the sake of this video, I might buy it anyway. Let's see what's going on. Where's the 10-minute chart? Right, let's split the chart. Split the chart. Let's get two charts. No, we want the left one. That's just the way I work. That one to be the long term, this one to be the short term. All right, let's get some. Let's get the RSI in. Let's get the RSI on this side. Yeah, you see over here on the short-term chart, it looks like it's a short buying opportunity. On the long-term chart, it looks like it's still got lower to go. As we said earlier, it's probably going to go down to here. This point over here before it goes back up again. Okay, let's buy. Why not? Ooh. Let's buy a 10p a point. No, I changed my mind. 5p a point. When it goes down, we'll buy in a little bit more. Not sure how long it'll take for this to recover. Okay, place deal. Thank you, we're in. Next, Amazon is something also I'm looking at. Where is Amazon? Here we go. Let's get the RSI in. Yeah, this is not a time to buy. Yeah, on the daily chart. Let's have a look on the hourly chart, RSI. See, on the hourly chart, it looks like it's turning around, but this could be a false signal, so we're going to leave that. No, I'm not going to buy Amazon right now. I'll keep an eye on it, but I ain't buying it. Let's have a look where Etsy is. RSI. Yeah, not buying that. Pinterest. Now this looks interesting. Let's get the 4-hour chart in. Check out this trend line. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Look. You ready? Let's get a point to point. Where is it? Let's go from here. Or even this one here. We can also do something from this point. You see, it was the second time it hit this point. It hit it over here, and then it hit it again over there. So let's get in a point to point. Let's go get a trend line going. And this is how you see. This is a beautiful technical chart. It's beautiful. So over here, right now, we don't buy it. If it comes back down and continues in this trend, we'll consider buying it. But right now, it's very clear that this Pinterest chart has a beautiful technical analysis chart. Fundamentally, it's doing very well. It's a very good stock to buy, but I'm not getting into this right now. Snapchat, another stock that I love. Ooh, look at that. Wow, it's gone from $80 down to 11. Okay, let's see where we're holding on the shorter term charts. Yeah, we're not going to buy this today. Okay, Shopify. Down 1.6%. This is clearly on an upward trend. I like Shopify at $51. There's a support right over there. Let's move it along. Okay, let's go to the daily chart. Yeah, right over there, it's at support. Okay, let's buy a small position. Okay, let's buy a very small position in Shopify. Place deal. All right, let's try that again. Done. Okay, we got Shopify. So far we've bought today oil. So it's still hanging around nowhere really. Nanosynth, this could take weeks or months before we see a profit of that. Capita as well, because that's a long-term thing. Johnson and Johnson and Shopify. Let's just see the oil position. See, it went up in profit since we bought it, but then it's come back down. Okay, we'll leave that. Let's see what gold is. 1871, silver, 22. Ooh. No, I'm not going to buy silver. And I'll tell you why I'm not buying silver, because the overnight fees and the weekend fees are extremely expensive on IG. So silver and gold, I would only buy for a short term. All right, let's see what's happening with the S&P. Okay, let's get the charts in for the S&P. We need 4 charts. Daily, let's change that to 4 hours. This one 1 hour, and this one 5 minutes. It's struggling to pick up. You can see on the daily chart it's hitting resistance over there. Oh, okay, we'll keep an eye on that. The Dow, which on IG's platform is called Wall Street. Okay, we're not getting involved with that. The Russell, let's get 4 charts on the Russell. Daily, 4 hours, 1 hour, and 15 minutes, it's fine. All right, let's get some RSIs in. Let's get RSI on the 4-hour chart. Right, and if you're not sure what these indicators are, they've got a little eye at the end. If you hover your mouse over it, it explains in brief what it is. But again, I will make separate videos on all these indicators. Okay, our total profit and loss so far is at around £18, and we've used a margin of over £500 just from these few positions. Unbelievable. Right, what else? We got the Nasdaq. Okay, we're gonna leave the Nasdaq alone. Let's just check back on the stuff we bought. Shopify. Let's split the chart here. Let's get two charts, 4 hours and let's get 15 minutes. Right, we're gonna keep an eye on this. I think it might even drop again. But if it drops, we'll buy some more because I love Shopify. I'm not gonna put a stop loss on Shopify because it's really very cheap. It can go back down to $30, even $25, but it doesn't matter. It's all part of the fun, right? If it drops, if it starts dropping, or something comes out in the news, or Russia decides to do something stupid, I'll probably close part of the position. The good thing about IG is that you can decide how much you want to close. If you want to close the full amount or only half the amount, you decide how much you want to close. Got it? Give me a like, subscribe. Thank you. Anyway, if I have anything else to report, I'll report back later. Thank you for watching. Right, so to sum up, the first day of my trading diary, it's the 6th of February 2023. To be fair, the market was a little bit of a whitewash today. The Nasdaq is down 0.8%. The Russell is down 1.6%. The Dow is down. Okay, the Dow's actually flat, so that's not too bad. The S&P is currently down 0.5%. But we have a few positions open, and since we last spoke, I actually opened a few more. Let's open my positions here. So oil, US crude, I actually opened another position. And Johnson & Johnson, I also opened up another small position. Shopify is currently a minus. Amazon is in a small profit. Let's go to the positions. We'll start with crude oil. And the first thing I'm going to do is, just for the sake of this video, though I don't really want to, but I'm going to close part of this position, this 25 pence a point position. I'm going to close just 20p of it and we'll leave the rest open, just let it roll. Right, so I'm going to make a profit of £17.26. As you can see, my funds are currently at £50,000, which is what we started with. And if I close it, that will now be a profit of £17.60, which is great, right? Because any profit is a profit. It doesn't matter, as long as it's not a loss. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to move my stop loss to a trailing stop. What that means is, if you saw before, here's my stop loss in that position. It will currently close automatically at £18. This is the 5p position now. However, I'm going to move it up to a small little profit, even if it's £1. It doesn't matter as long as we don't lose money on it. I'll still leave the top of this trading stop at wherever it is. Where is it? It's currently at £45. I'll move it up a little bit. Why not? But currently that position, no matter what happens, whether it goes up, down or sideways, we're not going to lose any money on it. I have another position at 10p a point and we'll monitor that and see how it goes. Back to the US stocks, we have a position on Shopify, down 2.6% today. Yeah, I wasn't very confident opening that position, to be honest. And if you think I'm making it up, just go back and have a look. It's all on camera, innit? I think it might even come back down. It might retrace all the way back down here. Yeah, I'm not happy about this position. We'll see what happens. I'll monitor it. Amazon positions is, okay, Amazon is currently down 1% today, but it's in a profit. It's almost at the open. So I'm going to leave it. I don't want to put a stop loss in right now yet, although I should. Yeah, I'm going to put a stop loss in. Go on. We'll put the profit up there, 865 squid. Oh, ooh. Okay, on the daily chart, so if it goes below, no, let's find a support. Let's do it the proper way, 4 hours. It appears that right over here is a support level. Right, let's put a support line in. Okay, it appears somewhere around the $90 mark, just above $90. $91. That is a support, okay. Right, we'll leave it like that. Let me just move the stop loss. Okay, now that that's in place, I can sleep better at night, no matter what happens. The world can come to an end. That's the maximum I can lose on this position is 115 quid. But the reward, check out the reward. If it goes all the way up to where I want it to go, it'll be over £800 profit. Okay, the other position was Shopify. We did Johnson & Johnson. Okay, it's down 0.7% today. As you can see, I opened another position. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. We made a total profit today of £17.60. Tomorrow is day 2, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll continue. Thank you.